Hello, Mr. Sam, and my name is Tai Ngô, and now I will make the presentation for the assignment one. So the first thing, uh, I will present the detailed walkthrough of the encryption and decryption using symmetric and asymmetric encryption. For symmetric encryption, it will use the same secret key for both encryption and decryption. So it is not much secure because when the attacker, when they can obtain the secret key, they can use it to decrypt the encrypted document. So I will perform it in the command line. And, and for example, sorry. And for example, we have the message. I will create a message, the plain text. And in the message, we have some content inside it, like it's like this is a secret message, and I put it in the plain text. In the plain text, we currently have this is the secret message. So we don't want another person to read this content of the message. So I will encrypt it using Open NSL, ENC, just like encoding or decryption. The algorithm I use is AES-256 CBC. This is AES is the advanced encryption standard. 256 is it generate the two 256 key long, and CBC the mod cipher blockchain. Um, and MD-SHA 521. I use it to see like it will use the SSA 521 hashing algorithm to add a part of the key derivation process. So for the PPKDF2, which is a password-based key derivation function 2, and it will use the sort to put in the keyword, the key or the password. So that makes the attacker feel difficult to perform the proof of attack. And I use the iter 10,000 times. It means I use the iteration for 10,000 times. Uh, so um, just add some layers on top for the security process. And I put the plain text as an input, and the output is use like the cipher text of TXT. And it asks me to provide a password. I use the symbol password like 12345, and I will type this. In this, there are many characters. We cannot read anything, and with the content or with the message of this is a secret message, we become this, and the another person cannot read it. So we can like just simply remove the plain text. And then we want to encrypt this, decrypt it into the normal message again. We use the same thing like this. Edit two, and I use the input is a cipher text, and the output is our original message. And the hyphen D is like the decryption, and it asks me to provide password. So if I type the wrong password, it said that it is bad decrypt and cannot decrypt the original message for me. Can I get original message? Yeah, we cannot see the message inside here. So I will do it again and provide the correct password. When we get the original message, yeah, we can obtain the original message. This is the secret message. So this is the end of the conventional encryption method. So we go to the asymmetric. So what is asymmetric? Symmetric, we use the public key and the private key. Public key is for encryption and private key for decryption. For example, if Bob want to send the message to Alice, so everyone always have their public and private key. So Bob want to send a message to Alice. Bob will use Alice public key to encrypt the data into the ciphertext and then send the ciphertext to Alice. Alice will receive the message and decrypt it using her private key. So I will perform it. So for example, we want Alice must have her private and public key. So I will use OpenSL. The channel I just like tell the OpenSL to generate the private key, the RSA private key, to facilitate the AES to facilitate like the symmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption. I want to encrypt my private key so it's more security. It's more secure. So the 2048 is like the length of the key of 2048 bits. And so it generated RSA private key, and it asked me to provide a password. So I just simply use Alice because I use the AES 256. So it must it must have the password to encrypt the private key. Like if another person get this key, but they do not have the password, they cannot use this private key, and we can it is encrypted, and we can generate the public key based on this private key. So you open SL the input is this private key, and the output is I mean I will use the pub out. Pub out is like public out, public key. And the pub out is like by default, the private key will be the output, and when you pub out to generate the public key, you enter, and it asks me to provide the private the password for the private key. So it's very good. Now we have the Alice public key, and then if we are Bob, we must use the Alice public key to perform the encryption. So first we must have the message of Bob. I mean of Bob. I mean maybe message to Alice. It's much easier to understand. Hello, hello Alice. And Bob went to send this message to Alice. Here, and Bob want to encrypt the message for the confidential. So what will click? Will you this the input file? Wait, I use what will use the public key utility. This allow performing various encryption or decryption for the here just like this. I use the encrypt. Instead of this encrypt the message. The input a message to Alice and the output a maybe message to Alice, but dot enc put in by default. The private key will be the input, but when you put in for the OpenSSL now, that is we use the public key to read to like the input key. So the in key Alice public key we encrypt with Alice public key. Enter, and we cat the message to Alice. You can see here we have the encrypted data, and we can remove the message to Alice.txt. So for example, if Alice receives this message and she cannot read the content inside, he just use the same thing to decrypt it again. Instead of encrypt, we use decrypt the in the message that she received, the output a message to me, for example. And so you hit private key to perform the decryption. Enter, and password. Yeah, it asked me to provide a password to use the private key. Here, and Alice can now see the message inside the file. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.